As I said in my previous videos, that from now on he's gonna look more like a Pikachu. Hello there and welcome to part 3. Now it's time to make his face properly. Now what we have to do right now is first observe and study the face and then keep adding thin layers of clay on it. You don't have to make the face too much bulky, so remember to add thin layers of clay.
You have to do this face thing when this is completely dry, right?
Yes, start making the face when your head gets completely dry after around 2 or 3 hours, because that will not disturb the head whenever you're working on the face. And also if you have done wrong somewhere, then you can just completely remove off the clay and you can again start working on it without damaging or disturbing the shape of your head. Always remember to smoothen the clay because this is a very important process, because if you forget to do that, then when the clay is little hard, then it's very hard to smoothen it up and you won't be able to get the smooth finish.
Why are you measuring the eyes? Can't we just do it by simple observation?
It's not necessary actually, but on the safer side, always use a scale to measure anything, because that will help you to get a proper finished work. Also, the real advantage of making the eyes in parts is that whenever you're doing the side portion of the eyes, you're not just disturbing the bulged out effect of the eye, and hence you can work on freely and do whatever kind of sculpting you want on the side portion of the eye. Remember that you don't do this process very slowly. You have to work a little bit of fast on this so that you can be able to merge this clay later. I hope you're getting this, because this is the most important part, as it is the face, and hence we have to get it as accurate as possible. So try to do all the measurements, keep doing the measurements, and keep comparing your figure with the original image. And don't worry that if you're not getting this in your first try, always remember that you have to keep practice, because determination, patience, and practice are the main keys when we work on sculpting.
Whoa, 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 what just happened?
Okay, I'll explain, because it's very hard to sculpt and paint the proper tiny and major details when the camera is in front of me. So I had to measure and properly sculpt the left eye, so that after that I can just make the right eye with reference to the left eye. Since now I got the measurements there, now I can video shoot this properly. Now what you have to do is hard press the soft clay on the harder one, so that it gets merged properly, and when after you color it, it just won't show the marks. You can wet your hand or use some amount of water to do this process. And now I'll do some corrections and try to make the eyes as round as possible. You have to keep doing this, keep measuring, keep comparing it with the original image, and you have to keep doing this unless and until you are not satisfied with your sculpture or your creation.
How much time this is gonna take? And I mean, it's taking a lot of time, I think so.
This process will take a little of your time. Some might finish it in shorter time, but others might do take longer. But still, this process has around 1 hour time, that I would say. Also remember to put some holes over there, and do that when the clay is wet. That will be easy to do it instead of doing it when the clay is hard. Now I have done a smoothing, and I'm just looking for any kind of corrections. Now I won't show the smoothing again, because if you wanna see it, you can watch the previous parts. I have explained it over there. Yes, now it looks fine by me. It's time to move to the ears.
So you have attached two bendy wires into the holes. I can see that, but what to do if I don't have any bendy wires?
You can use toothpicks, instead of bendy wires, but just be careful that while working on toothpicks you don't break them. And if you don't use a wire or a toothpick, then it will keep on moving like this, and that will be a problem for you to shape it or to paint it. Now again, I'll first do the left side and I'll show you how to do the right side, because that will help me again to do the measurements and make properly. So his ears are a little bit bulky in the middle, and they are thin towards the head, and they are more pointed at the end. There's also a reason that I'm not able to make tutorials on very complex characters like Groot or Iron Man, because first of all the time, they require around they require 1 to 2 weeks of time or maybe more. And also other thing is that it's very hard to work on them while making videos. This ear part is not that much hard. It's just that you have to understand the shape and you have to keep adding the clay, and remember to smoothen it up whenever you're adding it. And yes, now we are done with the sculpting phase of the upper part of the body, and now it's time to go to the lower part.
Okay, you stuck the tail back in. Did he use any glue to do that?
Yes, I have used an instant adhesive to stick the tail, and I also used the same to stick the bendy wires in case of the ears as well. So now I'm adding this clay to this joint area just to even this out, and this will also give rigidity to the tail as well. Remember that you have to smoothen this up nicely. You can use tools as well for this, and it is very important because it does not look like the tail has been attached later. And after smoothing and after coloring, this will look like this. Yes, he's looking like a Pikachu right now. Yes or no? So now we have done with the main body. It's time for the hands and legs. So again, by observing and measuring closely, I did the left hand first, or I should say it's right hand. I mean, it's left from here, right? I mean,
Dude, we don't care. Just show how to make the other hand.
so take a long piece of clay and stick it to the hand part. Just measure the distance from where his hands start. You can do that by observing the image as well. And now just remember that let the hand be a little thinner, or I should say a little smaller towards the finger side. And remember to merge the shoulder part so that it looks like the hand is completely attached to the body. I made the first hand before because now while making the other one, I don't need to look at the image. I can just simply make it by observing the other hand. Hence this helps me to explain and work on this easily while making the video. I feel that silicone tools are best when it comes to smoothing the clay at tricky places. Hence you need silicone tools, but again if you don't have those, you can always use hands, and you can always use toothpick to roll down over there and smoothen that. But again there will be little problem with the finishing, but it will do your work. And you can also use a brush to smoothen it out. Brush helps a lot, but make sure that you use a lot of water while doing this. And yes, again, smoothing with hand and water is the best, and it is the main thing always. Also remember to measure both your hands whether they both are accurate in size. I'll just see if they are, and I'll do the corrections if they aren't. So for the fingers I'm using a spatula, but yes, you can use a pin tool for this as well. And if you want to use any other tool, then yes, of course that can also work, because I always think that it's not the tool which makes an artist, it always is his skills and his techniques.
Why are you doing this again and again?
Because whenever I smoothen this, the fingers get merged, and hence I have to make them back again and again. This is not a big process, it just takes around 5 to 10 minutes of your work. If you do the fingers after around 30 to 35 minutes after kneading your clay, then that will help you work more easily on them. And I'm using a small 00 brush to, smoothen it out at the, gaps over there. Make sure that the hand area towards the stomach must not look like it is merged. Only the shoulder area must look like it is merged. So that's enough for the part 3, and the part 4 will be the final part in which we will complete our whole Pikachu. So if you have liked this tutorial till now, then do hit the like button and also share it with your friends, and do comment if you have any doubts or any suggestions for me. So thanks a lot for your support till now, and thanks again for watching this video. So till then, take care and see you next time with a new, no, new, not new, there's one more video remaining. So till then, see you next time with the same creation.